Well, hello! I'd like to welcome you to another exciting episode of Pens in Use. This week it's looking like a lot of vintage pens, but there's a pattern behind this that you'll see in just a moment. So let's dive into the pens. If videos like this interest you, where I talk about fountain pens, both new and old, and at all price points, I would invite you to subscribe. And hey, you ever splurge on a pen? There's a splurge hidden here. And no, it's not one I paid at a good price for. It was a splurge. Also, some fun vintage pens. You'll see a little bit of Cora, so maybe you'd like to talk about the Bach Nibs or what have you. So let's take a look at them. So, I actually have owned this for quite some time. I was going to do a grand reveal and then I never did. But a Nakaya Decapod twist. Toes Penkala Rex EMI 101, a Reform 4328, a Senator 0140, a Cora, a Pond Senior from Norway, a Welsh pen, which I think I did my restoration video, or no, I did a first impression of this week. Two Lamy 2000s, a broad and a fine, and you can tell which one has been used more. Yes, they do age. And finally, a Pelican M800. Yes, I got darker all of a sudden. I just realized that I was overexposed. So, these are the pens that I'm using this week, and got a little bit of story to go along with two of them. So, yeah, a little bit of special feature tonight. So, hope you enjoy. Let's dive into them. I turned the furnace off, by the way, so I wouldn't mention it once during this video. Oh, wait. Stupid. Sorry. Bummel Art Journal. Too much Saturday Night Live as a kid, I guess. Bummel Art Journal. So I was so careful last week I didn't put the wrong year in my pens in use, and then I turned around and put it in the title of the whole video. So, yay me. But 2019, January 18th, my first pen is one I've had for not quite a year yet. Ordered it about a year ago, but it actually arrived, I don't know, it was in the spring. I don't remember exactly when. And I just kept thinking, I'm going to do a grand reveal on it, and never did. So yes, I own one. A Nakaya Decapod twist. Was it the Heki Tamanori finish? I like it. You know, it's kind of got that shape so it doesn't want to roll away too much, although it's kind of a big pen. Lighter than I expected. I love the looks of the threads. You may guess what I was going for with the kanji there, especially if you look at the name of my channel. You may also possibly recognize that it isn't quite what I got. I'm not 100% sure what it says. I sent the exact specific characters and didn't get them. I thought about complaining, but then I thought, am I really going to care? It turns out I didn't. I know what the characters are now. Every time these show up, I get to tell the story that, no, it's not quite what I meant. And I know somebody's going to say, well, you should have complained, but I don't know. The story appealed to me. So soft fine nib, because that's my favorite on the Platinum. Well, I shouldn't say favorite, but for what I wanted to use this pen for, it was right. When I did my video on aspirational pens earlier, right at the end of the year, I'm not sure how many I'm going to get. I felt like I overdid them last year, and I don't know if I'm going to get any this year. But I am very happy with this pen. This pen is often what I'm writing with at home. It never travels anywhere, but I enjoy writing with it at home. Now, if you were around Monday, I uploaded Sunday. If you were around Sunday, I uploaded a video where two videos where I showed what I'm doing on IGTV. One of the videos is an exploration of Bach nibs. Got in all kinds of trouble over those two videos. One of the biggest troubles is everybody hates the vertical format, and I know, I don't really care for it either, but it's the rule on Instagram for IGTV, so that's why they were vertical. I just wanted to show a different audience what I'm doing over there. And the other thing I got in trouble for is I misidentified this little animal here. Oops, come on. So the Bach Nib actually has a goat on it. I think I'd identified it as a Bambi. It is a goat. Somebody pointed out it's probably an ibex. Around here we have wild goats. We have, they're called antelope. And then there's also, of course, mountain goats up in the Badlands. The ink here is Akkerman. Several viewers were kind enough to share their linguistic expertise. I'll just be honest, the Dutch language is not one that I know. I can guess. I mean, I kind of guessed groen is green. But what they're telling me is this stands for vegetable market. Which, for somebody like me who's a gardener and a heavy eater of vegetables, that was kind of appealing. Next, I have a Reform 4328. I reviewed another Reform a long time ago on the channel. It was one of my first vintage pens. That had a steel nib. This has a gold Bach nib with another goat. Goat boy! Yeah, there's that Saturday Night Live thing showing up again. Of course, I was so struck by these nibs. They're just wonderful to write with. Here comes another slim black pen. This one is a Senator that I bought and paid for. Oh, and the nib, once again, is a goat. Bock. And the ink in it is Private Reserve, which is a wonderful color. I think all of these pens are just really showing off the ink. My next pen, I misidentified. I think I've mentioned that I struggle seeing shiny things, especially in the light down here. I don't know why I had it in my head that I had a Bach nib on this. That's clearly a lion or possibly a griffin, which doesn't mean it might not be a Bach nib, because Bach has historically made pens for a lot of different companies. So I don't know. They may have put a different imprint on it just for Cora. And yes, this is a Cora pen from the Netherlands. The ink in it is... what is the ink in it? Monteverde, sorry. Monteverde, turquoise. It definitely has the same character as the other 3 pens, so doesn't mean it is a Bach Nib, but that suspicion is in my brain. Now, this next pen does have a Bach Nib, although it has a different imprint on it. This is a Pan Senior. This is a Norwegian pen, and I think this finish is gorgeous. Here it says Pan Senior. I don't think I've reviewed it, but I actually need to do a little work on it. The filling mechanism isn't working the best. Like, it hardly fills at all. So I have to take it apart and work on that. I must have done something wrong. But I am told that Pan used Bach Nibs. Now, you can see there's clearly no goat there. Just a PP. Which is fine. The other Pan pen that I have also has that. Oops, you saw almost none of that. Definitely goes from super fine to pretty broad. Like I said, though, I need to open it up and figure out what's going on with the filling mechanism, because it's just not holding a whole lot of ink. It's a button filler, if that means anything to you. And that might be a good chance for me to talk about button fillers and do a video on how they work. And I think I have pressure bars for them. Now, earlier this week, I did a first impression on this pen. This is a 3rd or maybe even 4th tier U.S. manufacturer called Welsh. Most of the gold plating is worn off the nib. The nib is nothing special, but it says Welsh, so apparently they made it. I find the shape's somewhat interesting. Uh-oh. There we go. And the ink in it is Callifolio. Itzamna. I think, well, okay, what attracted to me to the pen at first was I thought it was made in Wales, but it's not. But what keeps me attracted is I think that finish is just gorgeous. Pen's a little worse for the wear, but I don't know, I just like it. I'm finally back to the Lamy 2000 as my daily writer. And I was at a meeting today and taking notes with this pen, of course, and I thought to myself, boy, that looks kind of broad. I don't know if it's in my head or not. When I got home, I was comparing it to older writing, because if you'll recall, I dropped this pen on the floor nib first and springed something to the old nib, and had to get a new one. And it just feels broader. It could be all in my head, especially since I haven't been using the Lamy 2000 in a while, just because I had other pens, but it definitely looks broader than that. Or does it? Let's just throw a little bit. This is from October 26th. Yeah, definitely broader. So, not all Lamy nibs are the same, doggone it. So, maybe I will have to torture myself and get an extra fine. We'll see. This next Lamy 2000 has been used less. You can see it's a lot less shiny. Still a fun pen. This has a broad nib on it, and the ink is Noodlers, Black Swan, in Australian Rose. Which is one of my all-time favorite inks. And this pen truly does it justice. Now I'm going to leave it here on the table, out of sight, for a reason you'll see in just a moment. I'm going to bring out my almost empty Pelican M800. Also a broad nib. This ink is Callifolio Ohlanga. So I was asked the question, how do these two nibs compare? So let's do a little hash mark here with the Pelikan. So definitely a bit stub-like. And I know you should use the same ink if you're going to compare, but whatever. I'd say that the Lamy is a little more stub-like, perhaps a bit broader. And the downstrokes, and narrower on the cross strokes. So there's downstrokes with the Pelikan. Downstroke with the Lamy, definitely broader, definitely narrower. And just for giggles and snorts, so both good pens. I'd say I prefer the Lamy. But dang, this Pelikan is fun. So I hope you can forgive me for sitting on that Nakaya for about a year. Like I said, I was just waiting for the right moment to bring it out and do a grand reveal, and it just never happened. So here it is. I'll be doing a review of it soon. I mean, I've refilled it often enough that I definitely know my feelings on the pen. And you may... I forget who asked me, but I hope you appreciate the comparison of the Lamy 2000 with the Pelikan. Personally, I know it's the cheaper pen, but I prefer the Lamy 2000. I've never used a fine point M800, but I feel like I would probably prefer the Lamy 2000 there too, just because the feel in my hand is better with the Lamy 2000. I like how the Lamy writes. It's just a very good pen. I am a little disappointed to see that it's broader now. Yeah, I don't know how to make it narrower, so it's just one of those things I'm going to have to live with. But I think I will be able to live with it. I mean, there's so much about the pen that I like, and my fault. I had a great nib and I destroyed it because I'm a dunce. So I almost did one of those. What was his name? Played that guy. Stupid. He lived in a van down by the river. Is it John Candy? Anyway, wow, I definitely had one of those moments. But I hope you appreciate it. Anyway, view of the pens. You got a look, not in vertical mode, of the Cora nibs writing, and got a bonus Cora, possibly. So, yeah, if you could tell me about the lion on the Cora, I'd really appreciate that. Maybe fill in the blanks on some of these other pens. I'm always looking for more information. So I want to thank you for watching. And if videos like this interest you, where I talk about fountain pens both new and old, I would invite you, and at all price points, definitely literally this week, I would invite you to subscribe. And if you'd like to comment on the Bach Nibs, which are definitely goats, or you want to talk about my Saturday Night Live sad impersonations, oh, well, isn't that special? Maybe you want to talk about why I've been hiding this Nakaya so long. I don't know. But anyway, please feel free to leave a comment down below. As always, I thank you for watching. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.